Welcome to Capital Conquest, the podcast, where we take an in-depth look at the influencers who have made and continue to make Capital Conquest the extraordinary event that it is. My name is Scott Campsall, and today Hanshi Therien and I speak with Shihan Robert Patry. Patry Shihan is a 7th degree black belt in Shotokan Karate and a 5th degree black belt in Goju-Ryu. He is also the owner of SMA Karate, which is located in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. SMA Karate always brings an enthusiastic group of students not only ready to train, but also ready to put on an amazing demonstration at the Capital Conquest Kabuto Mania show. The SMA team always leaves the audience wanting more, and after this episode, it was safe to say that we wanted more of Shihan Robert Patry.
Well, I got to tell you that Rob Patry is one of the main instructors at Capital Conquest for many, many years. So, Rob, you want to tell us the benefit for you as an instructor at Capital Conquest and the benefits for your students and your dojo?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the best events of the year. For me as an instructor, when I'm teaching, especially at Capital Conquest, you have students that are on the mats from all over the world, and you get to meet them and you get to see what they do and create that sort of personal friendships with dojos and people from all around the world. And being able to teach them something different than what they do on a regular basis in person is unbelievable. It's so beneficial as an instructor to be able to share that kind of knowledge with students that aren't generally your own. As far as my students go, wow, every time they've been there, their minds have just been blown away. And the parents of the children, nothing but top reviews as far as how the seminars go and the instructors and how great they are with the students and the kids. And then all of my students, they get to meet people. They get to meet new people from other dojos, whether it's a local dojo like from close by, like Ottawa, Toronto, Uxbridge, places like that. They meet those students and they start to form these friendships over the time. And, then they get to meet people from different countries as well. And you can't put any sort of special way of explaining how important those types of things are, especially when it comes to students' growth and children's growth as individuals.
That's fantastic, Rob, and it is such the reasons why we're doing all of this. It's to make the martial arts better, and it's to show the rest of the world and all from the white belt beginners to the masters that we can all work together no matter what style, And there's also something very special at Capital Conquest that we do called Kabuto Mania Show. The Kabuto Mania Show, it's demonstrations that are unbelievable. And you, Monsieur Patry, have the SMA demo team. And I know you guys train hard to get on stage, and you've done many demos before. You want to talk about the Kabuto Mania Show of the Saturday night?
Oh, yes. It's where everybody gets to showcase the students. I never go on stage just because I like to have my students in the limelight, not myself. So we work really hard. So if we're doing a demonstration for the Kabuto Mania show, we usually start late August, early September, and we pick a song, which we have a song for this year's Capital Conquest, and it's be a good one. So you start creating the choreography for it. And then you go from there and you expand on it and expand on it. And the students, it's hard work because you got to repeat. And of course, it's always got to get better. It's got to get better. The timing's got to get better. But at the end of the day, you see your students up on the stage or you see the other schools up on the stage. You get to see how fantastic all the students in the schools are from all around the world.
Do you handpick your students for that, or do they volunteer? Like, do you have a sign-up list, or how do you choose who goes into the demo team?
We first determine who's going to be going to Capital Conquest. So we've already started talking about it with all the classes, trying to explain, because we have since COVID, we've got pretty much a brand new school for the most part. And then of course, most of our black belts have grown up and gone to university. So we're trying to explain to them how big of a deal Capital Conquest is and the benefits from it for both the children, the teenagers, the parents, like even the parents being able to see their kids. We find out who is going to Capital Conquest first. And then we ask who would like to do a demo, a bit voluntary. But then if there's those shy kids, but they have that talent, we really, really try to encourage them and their parents to try this, to do this. They work so hard. You guys have seen the demos. There's a lot of really young kids. I think the youngest we ever had on our demo team was 4. So, and that was little Ryden at when he was 4 years old with the mohawk, the red mohawk. And I don't know if you remember that or not, but he was a very, very big pillar, and he was scared to death at the very beginning. Oh, I'm going to be in front of all these people. But over time, he started to just enjoy it and accept that he was going to be the star, so to speak, at the front of the group. And at the end of it, he was like, I love this. Let's do it again. Right. So
it builds black belt attitude at a very young age. And
I agree.
As they train. Yeah. And but that is so fantastic. I got to share something with everybody. I was on a call not long ago with a big group in the United States with Grandmaster Jesse Bowen. And he was at Capital Conquest maybe 5-6 years ago. And he said something that really, really pleased me. And I think that he nailed it as far as why we're doing Capital Conquest. He said, I went up north to Canada to Capital Conquest. And this man is he does big things all over the world, especially in the United States. And he said there was at least 1,000 people training. But people train, they don't walk around, just take photos, They come in, they got their sweat equity, and they get on the floor and they train. And he says it was the most powerful things and the most beautiful thing to see that martial arts energy in that room with over 1,000 people doing their thing. To me, that was such a great testimonial.
I love it when the instructors train. Like, to me, it's different than having an instructor just walk around. Like, there are going to be some that are going to do that. Like, I, every once in a while, will take a break and just go and look at, especially the kids instructors, because that way you learn a lot about what other people are doing that seems to work. But normally when you start doing these events, you're a Q belt or a color belt and you train with them, and that's okay. But then next thing you know, you're looking over and there's a 6th degree black belt or a 7th degree black belt trainer right beside you. And they're just as dumbfounded by the instructor that's teaching as you are. So it's
that's
neat.
Right. I love getting on the floor, whenever I can. I've done Shihan Philip Yang's seminars. I try to get to them all the time because we have that common background. And I've done some of the karate seminars and stuff like that. Of course, I've done Hanshi Therien seminar, Hanshi Sai seminars. I love doing them. They're always so important to get the fine-tuned details of certain movements that you've been doing for 30 years or 40 years. And you might get that one tiny detail that you didn't have before. And that's all I ever look for when I get on the floor. And then you and I, Scott, we taught seminars together a couple times. That was fun.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that because you showed me up, but that's... You want to teach together? Yeah. This is what a good instructor looks like. And then there's Scott over there. Yeah.
Oh, no, you did great. We worked with each other the whole way through. You'd take them to the floor. I'd pick them back up for more beatings. It was great.
Let's go back to the beginning when you said you meet different instructors and you learn different things and you make friends in the martial arts. Back in the days, people from one style, one school would not mix with anybody else. Yeah. We've broken that barrier so much that now everybody trains together. I remember one time we were in France, in the south of France, and they took the whole group to an island. It was just off Nice, beautiful place. And Alain Sailly, I'm teaching. Alain Sailly is there, Hanshi Sailly, Hanshi Borkowski, and myself. So everybody's pairing up in their training. So I'm teaching, and Hanshi Sailly is training with Hanshi Borkowski. Then Hanshi Borkowski's teaching. I'm training with Hanshi Sailly. We partnered up, did his class. And then when Hanshi Sailly was teaching, I partnered up with Hanshi Borkowski. The student says, wow, that was kind of good. Well, it is, it's nice to be an instructor, but it's nice to be a student. So when you bring all of that at the same floor and at the same place, it is fantastic. You mentioned since the pandemic, your school is not the same because now it's reopened. Most schools, the middle belts have been gone. it's time to rebuild the future. And Capital Conquest is going to put another final coat saying, we are back. We are going to do great things and we are going to work from there. So this year, it's more important than any other year that everybody shows up, because I need it and I'm a ninth Dan. And the beginner that has been gone, like he's an orange belt or green belt, and he's been away for a while, he also needs it.
Yes, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. You know, I can't wait for it every year when we were doing it prior to the pandemic. But now more than ever, being able to see all the people that we've met and what we call friends for the first time in 2 years. Like I'm so excited just to get back to seeing those people and having good conversations and laughs and hanging out and just having that friendships rebuilt again. And then, you know, like you said, the middle belts. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest hits was the middle belts during the whole thing. And now we have all these brand new, eager white belts that are just thriving. I'm excited to be able to expose them to what we have seen as so beneficial for so many years and start their journey this year.
You have such a large group that goes, and now you've got all these beginners. Like, it's the same thing with us. We've got all these beginners. We try to explain to them, even like we do special classes, and they look at me dumbfounded, like, oh, what kind of class is that? And oh, well, that's right. You weren't here, but we used to do glow in the dark karate classes, or we used to do superhero shirt day or something like that. And they're just totally out of it. So now you're trying to explain Capital Conquest to beginners.
Yeah.
How do you get that across? So are you doing an incentive thing, or is it just basically you explain it all and like, is that working for you, or how are you getting over the hurdles?
Well, right now it's more about the information coming out of our mouths and talking about it all the time, which is getting them to think and wonder about this event that we keep talking about. And usually, so pre-pandemic, we would do a fundraiser in the middle of the summer sometime to raise money to help pay for the rooms too. So we dropped the rates down. I think the last time we had 10 rooms and we had everybody's room was paid for 100% just by fundraisers. So we're still trying to do stuff like that to kind of ease because everything costs money now. Everything's going up in price. And this event is worth so much that it would be a shame for someone who couldn't afford a hotel room to not be able to go. So we try to do the fundraisers and stuff to help them out with that as well.
And here's something too to help out. This year, if some of the students want to come, you mentioned something very important, that it would be a shame that they can't make it because of the cost of a hotel room. We can have dojos. If they bring a sleeping bag, they bring their own towels and stuff. Well, I can find a dojo for them to sleep on Saturday night, whatever they need. And that will help the cost for them to come. So keep that in mind. Yes, for everybody, keep that in mind. And when we talk about building characters, and it's exactly what you said, they start Capital Conquest and they start the training and they're a little bit unsure. And then they walk in and could be overwhelming at the beginning. And that's why we let them go and fly with their own wings. But by the second class that they're in, they're already that much confident. And by the last class or two, they are almost superstars in everything that they do. And it's great. With the fundraiser, a lot of people are doing that.
For us, for my school and for many, I would imagine, it's about creating opportunities for our youth. And that's one of the biggest things I tell my students is never miss an opportunity. So they have opportunities to go, then, don't think about it, because if you think, it's already too late.
That's right. And, if you look at any sport like hockey and football and tennis and baseball, it costs an arm and a leg compared to martial arts. And they have tournaments and games and exhibition games, and they travel all over and they'll spend thousands of dollars in one season. In martial arts, it's a fraction of that. But what is good is when the sports go out to play in a tournament, is the bonding with those kids, with the parents. It's a day trip or a weekend trip. And that is so important also in martial arts. That's why a lot of people come in above and beyond all the great benefits.
Yes, absolutely.
What have you done for fundraisers?
We've done bottle drives. If you know good areas, you could do $1,000 in a weekend just on one day.
After COVID, we could probably do more than that.
Oh my God. Yes.
just in my house.
Yeah. We have certain areas that we do for bottle drives, and we know that we're going to bring 700 to 1,000 in for that day that we go. And there's a lot of houses, and it's a lot of work. Nothing says it's easy work, but it's a lot of work. But at the end of it, it's worth it. And we do a kickathon. They do 2,500 kicks, and they get sponsors for it. It can bring in anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000. So, Hanshi, remember when we went to France, the kickathon we did just before brought in $4,000. Pretty much all of our rooms in France were paid for completely for the whole time we were there. Those type of things. And I mean, it won't cost that much, right? For Capital Conquest, it's much cheaper. So, those little events add up very quickly, but definitely bottle drives are a really easy way to do $500 to $1,000 in a weekend. If we're not doing it like the hockey teams where they go like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we just do flyer delivery on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we do the pickup. Literally that same weekend when we're doing it. And we do on average $500 to $1,000, depending on the area. And then the kickathon, we would usually do a month in advance where we give everybody the forms, and they go to their families, they go to their friends, they go to the neighborhoods, and they ask for sponsors. And then whatever comes in, we split it right down the middle equally amongst every single person. We did the rooms the one time. We had a family of 5 that obviously that cost a lot of money for them to do. So their whole weekend was completely paid for. The seminars, the hotel rooms, their trip up. They had to pay for their own food, of course, but everything else was paid for.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And I love the martial arts for the sweat equity on the mat and everything. But I love it also for the people that get involved, because they are part of the SMA family or part of the Uxbridge family or the Ottawa family. And they will get together, but everybody is equal. Everybody is equal. So that is very good.
And the benefits that come out of it after a weekend, like you said, you see a child start and they're nervous at the beginning, and towards the end, they're a pro. And I see that over the course of the weekend with everybody's students, when we're getting a chance to take a look at the students that are coming in, and you see them grow just over a weekend. And you can't put an importance on all that. It's one of the, it's priceless.
And you know what? It's the week after Capital. Well, it starts at Capital Conquest on Facebook, and there's thousands of photos for the next month all over Facebook. And if you look at it, everybody has a smile, everybody is happy, and you see the development of martial arts in the photos or in videos. It's really great. Well, in closing, my friend Rob, thank you for your testimonial on Capital Conquest. Good luck with the SMA demo team. One of my favorite teams to watch. They always come up and perform at a very high level. And this year we have 12 countries performing at Capital Conquest. It's going to be very exciting and a lot of fun. And we're going to see you on November weekend, the first weekend of November. There's going to be on November 4th, a kickboxing gala on Friday night that Jean-Yves Theriault, the Iceman, will do. Then we have Capital Conquest on Saturday and Sunday. And the Saturday morning will be karate competition in kata and in comité with teams, and then training in the afternoon. And of course, the Kubudo Mania in the evening, and then back on Sunday to train. So tell everybody on my behalf that I really look forward to seeing them. And I've got thousands of hugs to deliver that weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me on. And I can't wait to see you guys in person.
Thank you, sir.
It's been too long. It's been way too long. Thank you so much. Actually, when Hanshi asked me to do this with him, and I was excited because I was going to be able to spend more time with him and obviously talk to him. But then when he started telling me about the people that he wanted to line up to do this, and when he said that you were on, and I just got really excited. And now you're firing me up about it. Just even the fundraiser thing was like, yeah, we should do that. We used to do that. Why aren't we doing that? So it's been a long 2 years, and I'm thank you for that.
No worries. I was excited to see you too. So we'll see you guys all soon. And I look forward to it. And my students are going to be fantastic. They're going to love it. And I can't wait to see the look on their faces, because it's going to be all brand new for a lot of them. So thank you for the opportunity, Hanshi, and we'll see you soon.
Capital Conquest will be happening November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2022. For more information, you can go to the World Caboodle website at worldcaboodle.org/Capital Conquest or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Capital Conquest WKF. This has been a Campsall Broadcasting production. Please be patient if we don't respond right away to inquiries. We are now busy sorting through our empties and looking into fundraising ideas.